Hello. 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 Sounding like a parrot that exists in several different games, including in the Three-Fingered Thad's. I don't know, the tavern in the airship in DDO's thingy. Okay. My volume turned all the way up? It is not. How did I get my volume turned all the way down? No, it's not anymore. How y'all doing? So, one thing I would like to point out is 47 of 48 character slots used. I have a lot of work to do coming up soon. I have a spreadsheet. Where am I going? I'm going to Glamdring. But, Druid, you'd like to hang out with the RPers. Yeah, but Glamdring, man. Glamdring! I can't not be on Glamdring as a server. I will still have characters on Peregrine, and I expect to play on there reasonably often. I also expect to have some kind of presence on Meriadoc. Probably less on Orcrist, I think, honestly. Hi, kitty. Kitty, kitty? No? Kitty, kitty doesn't want pets. Skittish doesn't want pets right now. So we're going to respect Skittish's unwillingness to let me pet her. Oh. Well, we need to fix that. I don't recall if Wenda Cranesbill is here in town. I don't recall seeing her here. Trying to remember the last place I would see Wenda Cranesbill. Alright, pop you there. Send you that. Yeah, I did hit my virtue cap. All 5 of my main virtues are capped out, which means I'll just let any VXP go to whatever one pops in here. Okay. Trying to think what we're going to do about this. Remember where the stable master is. Over this way. I'm gonna try to remember the last place that we saw the head of Wenda Cranesbill.
It is a new day.
Kurenzar does not have one. I think Iridir, actually, she is an Iridir. For sure. And we haven't been to Urashdar. Oof. We got places to go. I'm pretty sure she's an Iridir, so let's go there first and take a look and come back. So hope everybody's having a decent Monday. I did a lot at work on the day job. Hey, it's Xavier Von Hoot. I'm gonna give him a hug because he's a friend of a friend. Love it. Okay, so if she's around, she'll most likely be over this way. I'm not gonna spend too long looking for her. Worst case scenario, we can pop someplace where I know for sure she exists. Yep. We're gonna bounce. We're gonna bounce somewhere cool. So here's what we're gonna do. Is I'm actually going to bounce to my house. I'm not looking forward to undoing all of my housing decorations. And I know I have a few sitting in other people's properties. Not many. One thing I would like to point out that Yao of D and Co. de Milieu is going to be creating a frequently asked question list of all that you'll need to know about housing and transfers with the upcoming opening of 64-bit servers in the world of Lord of the Rings Online for everybody. So I have plans.
Will you give me a moment of your time, friend?
Yes, Wanda, I will.
How can I be of service?
Thank you. Alright, I'm gonna go take a look and see how far I can get into the new stuff from this guy. I don't recall that they put new areas in here. Let's see what we got. Minas Tirith, Breland, Dunland, Elderslade, Erebor, Erd Luwin, Gundabad, King's Gondor. Okay, so I wasn't actually expecting him to put something to the new areas on the state. I mean, the most... yeah, I wasn't expecting it, but it's okay. It's okay. We got some options here, because I have return skills to various places. Including one to return to Urmok, and I didn't even realize I had that. So that's awesome. We'll use that. I'd also like to note, and that was actually a really good thought to have bought that in advance. One of the good pieces of news today, there actually was good news today. For those who are in my Discord, you'll know some of the bad news we've been discussing in the general channel after certain allegations. I wouldn't say they came to light. They've been around for a little while, but more evidence and commentary was given. But let's talk good news, and then we can talk a little bit briefly about the bad news. Has nothing to do with Locho. Neither of these really have anything to do with Locho. One is Lord of the Rings adjacent. In that, Signum University's Kickstarter to make a 60 to 90 minute documentary about the War of the Rohirrim movie has been successfully funded. Yay! It was a little bit of a nail biter at the end. They weren't sure they were going to make it because they had they were down pretty hard. I was worried they wouldn't actually make it. It's like they only had raised a third of their goal in 3 weeks, and I was like, dang, this is not good. But in the end, the Signum community, the OneRing.net community, rolled in and did the thing. Oh, we need to go to Shonith. Okay. Let's go to Shonith. I forgot about that one. Oh, and if I recall correctly, Shonith does not have a stable master. Yeah, Shonith doesn't have a stable master. The closest riding down from Galburu would be a good... Oh. Might just be better to ride down from Jirush. Yeah, let's go to Galburu. And ride south from there.
Mew! It is good to see you.
She's very happy to see me.
It is a new day.
It is. Okay, double rule. So, yeah. That was the good news. It raised its Kickstarter goal. The pledges were collected. They're going to make the movie. It's great. And this was, they actually announced earlier today, the actual formal partnership with the OneRing.net, which I thought was really exciting. I actually didn't know anything about it, even though I am a Sigma boy. But again, not my area of expertise, so I wouldn't expect to necessarily know about it. Anywho, but it's really super exciting that we're working with the OneRing.net to do some cool stuff. However, let's touch on the bad news of the day. I mean, there's a lot of bad news of the day, like fires in California, fire warning for a much larger part of the greater Los Angeles area. Lots of bad shit's happening out there. And I'm very much concerned. There's a lot of amazing people that are losing their homes. Some are losing their pets. Some people have lost their lives. It's not a small thing. But that's an ongoing issue right now. And that's not to say that it's not important, because obviously the hell it is. But the other one was the allegations that originally cropped up in like September or something about noted fantasy author Neil Gaiman. Well, there was an article with a lot of details in it explaining or covering what happened. And I want to make it very, very clear. He has not been convicted in a court of law. However, given the depth of the narrative, I am inclined to believe it without needing that particular thing to... It's always an issue when there's somebody whose work you admire and allegations come up that they're a horrible person. I mean, if you're a fan of this person, you don't want to believe they would do something terrible, right? And that's an understandable reaction. And you kind of want to believe, oh, they would never do this. This isn't them. Somebody's just making up shit. Whatever. But the accusations were very brutal. That he had committed some very brutal acts involving vulnerable women. And if proven true, what a shit stain on the planet. I feel for his victims, and I hope that they can find some measure of peace and some measure of healing out of all of this, now that the truth has come to light, or what seems to be the truth. And I just hope things get better for them, because the description of what he did is pretty damn horrific. And even if, certain acts involving sex are within the certain community that he claimed to be part of, there are rules and such to that community from my understanding, and he did not follow the rules of the road. Anyhow, regardless, everybody is processing this in their own ways, and I would like to gently ask folks to consider the fact that a lot of people out there were very big fans of his work, and it can be very difficult to separate the art from the artist, especially if some part of the artist's work really resonated with you. I mean, I myself still struggle with stuff involving the Harry Potter franchise because J.K. Rowling has proved herself to be a rather horrible person in her anti-trans stances and whatnot. And that's very difficult. And it's for example, I used to run Harry Potter mushes back when I was, 20 some odd years, 20 years ago. And I love the books. There are some parts of the books I still find something that resonates with me. And that doesn't mean that I'm a horrible person for liking those books. I still have my copies of her books. Haven't done anything with them. I might do so at some future point. I just haven't decided what to do about it now. Am I ever getting into this place I'm trying to get into? Probably not. So I can understand the hard self-reflection a lot of people are doing right now. Because they love this guy's work. And it's difficult to say, you know what, I can't support this person's work anymore. While some of the friends are like, look, if you're still buying his stuff, you're giving him money, and therefore, and we don't. I want to show empathy to people on either, whatever side or slice of thoughts are going on with all of this. And I don't want to be disrespectful to people who still feel like his books mean something to them, that they can't set them down for whatever reason. Right? You can never tell when somebody's creativity helped somebody figure something out about their life or whatever. Help save them from doing, causing self-harm or something. So, hello? You're kind of floaty there, nice lady. And so it's a pretty heavy subject. There's a lot of nuance in it. But it's definitely sent some ripples through the stratosphere of the internet right now. And I will tell you, if you hear of the article, I was originally printed some amazing journalism by, I believe, Lisa Shapiro, that the article contains very graphic language, descriptions of, to use a euphemism, rough sex. And it can be hard to read, especially for victims of assault and whatnot. So I would say if something like that will be upsetting to you, don't read it. Your mental health is more important than anything else. Just be aware that he has been accused reasonably credibly as far as I know, of some heinous acts that were not consensual, no matter what he says. And every content warning I can think of with regards to these sorts of things are definitely enforced. So if you see the article or see a link to it, be very careful before you click on it. Protect yourself on that. So, a little bit of a heavy start to the stream, but we're going to get into the heavy in-game content where we have elves who don't want to fade away. We have bad guys destroying or ruining groves that are sacred to the elves. We have men who are dealing with supernatural creatures. There's some heavy shit going on in Middle-earth. But I don't want to be dismissive of real life. One thing I would encourage to all, either way, is to simply have empathy and compassion. And that is also true for what's going on in LA right now, because holy shit, a lot of people don't know what the fuck empathy or compassion is. And it's disgraceful. I don't care that James Woods is a frickin' prat. I feel empathy if he lost his house, if it turns out that he lied about losing his house in the fires. Well, fuck that guy. But, you know, I may not like the guy, speaking of separating artist and art. You know, he's just, we have philosophical differences, but it's not like he's like done something cruel to people that I'm aware of. So I can have empathy for the poor guy if he lost his house. If he lied about it, again, that's more about him than me. I do know that Star Trek actress Denise Crosby lost her house. I saw a photo from the ashes, and my title is, oh my god. My title is kind of, but it's more of a thing about my character and the bird. It has nothing to do with what, you know, is going on out there. But there was a photo that was on Robert Redford's social media of the charred remains of like something in his house, and there was like a damaged Oscar statuette, like it had, you know, been burned by the fire. And it was just that image. I'm like, wow. And the empathy I would say is, yeah, rich people are losing their stuff too, but many of the actors that you know in Hollywood are not rich people. Many of the character actors out there are not making a crap ton of money. And it costs nothing to be kind, to be compassionate, to show some empathy. Just because they're an actor or they're a celebrity doesn't mean that you can't not be a dick about it.
I cannot muster the
Doesn't mean you have
strength.
to be a dick about it. Okay, Ashamil and Rafuz shared their information with me. The language of the letter I would not read here. The repercussions of Oasis would be grave. Okay, so our good friends found a letter that's in a language that the only word that anybody could decipher was Orc. And she's not willing to read the language here because it would damage. So it's probably black speech. They told me you saw something at a great distance. You described what you saw. I can't recall anything like this in my life. Our tales do not recount such things. Alas, much of our history dissipated as the oases died and the land corrupted. I told Ashami and Rafuz about the Deadlands to the north. I remember one name, Marush. It is a place where you may find refuge. A place you may find horror. A place where you may find answers. This is all I know. Okay. We gotta go talk to... She cannot recall such an enemy. I know there's somebody throwing a fit on the forums. And that's the way I characterize it. Being very upset on the forums about the story of this expansion. I haven't played through it all myself yet, so I'm going to take Maid of Lions' response to that person to heart. So, I'm going to play through the story myself and decide for myself what I think about it without reading somebody else's opinions about it. So I've been avoiding story spoilers.
This valley belongs to the Shagani and no one else.
She won't leave. She can't recall seeing an enemy as I described in her lifetime. So the enemy was at the end of the dog catcher quest line, where there was a dude kind of like a Rogmill. You know those big hovery spectral dudes, like Brongos the Horror. Brongos? No, Barangos. Orangos the Horror. The one who turned Uradani Stone Maiden into Uradani the Flamey Maiden. She cannot help. She told me this path will be mine to walk or leave. I told Rafuz I needed time to think. My bones still shake when I think of the words the cultist spoke as we defeated him. I felt the evil passing over me. There is some greater evil beyond the Orakai. I want to face that evil and drive it away. I want to live for myself, the greater good of the world. Okay. What do you think, Rafuz?
May the seas be calm and the winds fair.
He's tired. Asked for time to think. My decision was an easy one. I've learned my father's homeland has people who are fierce, independent, and beautiful. I've learned the people of the north need not be our enemy. When the cultist spoke, I felt the shadow of true evil. Something shook me deeply. These things changed me. I cannot cast my eyes toward a goal that does not safeguard all. There's some great work at hand. I will go to Marush and seek to discern the evil we face. I hope Ashami and I can do this together. What do you think, Ashami?
What say you, traveler?
Okay, we'll make her back to Kur and Zar. We'll discuss along the way. Find us there. We'll be pleased to treat with you. Aw. You're gonna treat with me. So, again, I can't just ride out there too easily, but what I do have is the ability to go quickly. How is everybody tonight? It's been a busy day on the work schedule. Got to hang out with Corey and Maggie during Other Minds in Hands. So we hang out with Chad anyway. I wasn't with them. You get to see the nighttime. We still haven't gone to see the Kintai to continue the epic quest line either. There's no sign of your friends, but there's a note with my name on it. Oh my goodness. This could be bad. So the dev team has been answering a couple of additional questions on the forums of late. Earlier today, Cordovan replied to a thread called Some Unanswered Questions from Friday. And he says, and I quote, on the topic of names during the VIP reservation period, you select whatever rules appropriate names you want. The assumption is that people will use it to secure desired names, but you'll be able to name yourself to whatever is available. So, basically, one thing to bear in mind is right now, Standing Stone has a name policy. On no server at all, including Laurelin, are they enforcing lore-appropriate names. Like, your name could be something that's not lore appropriate. As long as it doesn't otherwise violate the rules, you can have it. They're not going to... they're not going to entertain tickets where the role players get their delicates in a twist about somebody's name being, oh, this is not lore appropriate. Like back in the Turbine days, that was more of a thing, especially on Laurelin more than anywhere else. But I think they kind of got tired of having to, be involved in player drama. So basically, follow the name policy and don't bother anybody else about their name. If you don't like it, just suck it up. Pardon me. And Cordo also did do a comment about what's the definition of a role-playing server. It just means they put the RP tag on it and more of the RPers gravitate toward it. Honestly, there's RPers on every server. Doesn't matter if it's Arkenstone, which is known as the North American PvP rating scene server. Same with Evernight. There's role players on Evernight too. Just like there's raiders and PvPers on Landreval. Or on Laurelin, or whatever. Everybody has... there's just, like, what is this server known for? This server's predominant culture is this. But it doesn't mean the other stuff ain't there. Alright. Somebody has been really upset about the story of Legacy of Morgoth, but hasn't actually, by their own admission, never played it and never bought it. And Maid of Lions has been trying to point out to them how some of their assumptions are wrong. Because they're basing their opinion based on what other people have been saying. So it's like a game of telephone. And today's comment was, you're welcome to have whatever opinions you want, or, whatever. And he said he acknowledges he appreciates both positive and negative feedback. It's good enough. Because they help him out. But he adds, and I quote, "Neither of those do me any good if you're just playing the forums. Giving a book report without reading the book isn't something I'd find especially fulfilling." End quote. Yeah. Ay. People. Okay, for our friend, what does this note say? I get to read the letter. Oh, they wrote a novel here. I really hope this sort of text, they fix this sort of thing in the future as well. Okay. Ashami and I hope you find this letter and you are well. We spoke on our return to Kur Enzar from Shonith about Kismet. The Shagani used the word to describe their fate. I like it. We decided on our own, and then together, we are bound to fight for something beyond the freedom of Shagana. We came to this decision because of me. Oh my goodness. You aided me without expectation of compensation. You allowed me to pursue Ashami and shared wholesome advice along the journey. You listened to me. You listened and shared. You helped Ashami in the same manner, selflessly. We both realize, though our cultures are strange to one another, we are more alike than we are different. We appreciate each other, our pasts, and more importantly, our future. We have pledged to be together, whatever fate plans. Oh, they're so cute. We found our future and our love because fate placed you in our path. Kismet, you are eternally our friend, Rafuz and Ashami. Okay. And now we get to talk to Rafuz and Urashdar, which we're not ready to go to yet. So, our next quest, we have quests for these folks, or we can continue the epic. We're gonna go talk to these folks and do their side quests first. Thrums! A couple of IRL turns. I had to do that earlier today, too. You can pick any name then, yeah. No name restrictions on RP servers unless it's a violation of the name policy. So if you try to name... Okay, let's actually go look this up. Lotro naming policy. It is on the Standing Stone website. It's on this article, updated 7 years ago. My god, Standing Stone, really? Okay, I would honestly recommend reading the Lotro Code of Conduct because that was updated a year ago, but it still links to the naming policy. So, okay. Updated 7 years ago. I'm going to drop this link in chat so you don't have to go look for it. Bam. So that's what the current policy is, whether they update it or not, don't know. So, proper names and places or close facsimiles thereof from the story characters or non-player characters introduced in the fiction of Lord of the Rings Online. These are ones that are not allowed. This is a violation. Fantasy or non-fantasy names from popular culture or media. Can't name your character Captain Kirk. Sexually explicit, defamatory, obscene, and racially or ethnically offensive names or slang. Names of historical or religious significance. That's how a troll got Master Vercingetorix, because he likes to name his characters after French kings and whatnot because he's French. And somebody who hates his guts decided to put in a name violation ticket on him. And CS had to be like, yeah, kinda. Historical figure. Trademark names of products, goods, materials, or services. So I can't name my character Pepsi. Common names, slang, or references to drug-related substances, culture, or paraphernalia. So you can't name your character Bong. Names containing ranks, titles, or denotation of power. So I couldn't name my character Lady Phoenix. I just have to be Phoenix. Names causing harm, mockery, or imitation of Lord of the Rings Online players or NPCs, in addition to Standing Stone Games, LLC employees past or present. Misspelled variations or homonyms of any of the above rules. So that idiot who DM'd me, who sent me a tell during one of my live streams with a name that was an attack on Cordovan. Yeah, I reported him in the middle of the stream. On the official channel, I might add. Policy enforcement. Zero tolerance rule in effect for the following name violations. Sexually explicit, defamatory, obscene, racially, ethnically offensive names or slang. Common names, slang, or references to drug-related substances, culture, or paraphernalia. Names causing harm, mockery, or imitation of Lotro players or NPCs, in addition to SSG employees past or present. This means that if your character or kinship name is in violation, the name will be changed without question. For characters that violate this rule, your character name will be changed and your account will be automatically placed on a 1-day suspension for a first offense. For kinships that are in violation, the kinship name will be changed and the account of the kinship leader will be placed on a 1-day suspension for first offense. Additional offenses will consist of further account actions, including possible closure. And they add, in-game support naming violation policy will be changing names that are found to be violations to a suitable fantasy name of the game master's choice. That's interesting. The player that is found in violation of the policy will not have a choice of a new name. We encourage every player to read this shit before you do things. And yeah. You may certainly still appeal the name change by clicking a ticket. You may choose to purchase a new name from the store if you're unhappy with the name that was provided to you. So don't fuck this up. And again, note, additional naming violations may result in further actions against your account. Good times. But Bongador, maybe. I don't know. Bongador might be. I don't know, Kevin. So, Lully is a twit is not accept. Probably not Guerendis. Hello. Names can be fun. You still link Sweet like Melon as a kin name? Oh. The main thing about names is, I think one of the problems, at least in Versen's case, that he was being trolled by the other player being a rampant dickhead, who server hopped and had character, was very much a horrible person. It doesn't matter that it was trolling. The simple fact of the matter is the troll managed to actually get Versen in trouble because Versen was technically in violation of the naming policy. It's one of those cases of like, why didn't Standing Stone or Turbine have a problem with these names? I've had these names for years and years. And it's like, just because they didn't notice doesn't mean once they're told about it, they can't, once they're told about it, they have to enforce the policy. I mean, that's the unfortunate reality of things. It kind of sucks. And the person who did it to Versen is a dick, but, you know, it is what it is. Okay, we've got some Hamati Scholar Scouts, the Queen of Renewed Hamat, and her best buddy here, this really tall dude. I do like the fact that that this queen here, this very charismatic queen lady, yeah, she does, well, to be fair, the people here dress pretty nicely, but I like the fact that she's like this, she seems to be this short lady, but mainly because her dude here is like this mountain-sized dude. Like, he's taller than me, and I'm a freaking high elf. So I'm still looking at where everybody is going to go. I think my leveling, questing, important characters are going to Glamdring, because Glamdring. However, I'm still sending pretty much all of my Crick Hollow alts to Peregrine, and a couple of them are fairly high level. There's a 68, there's a 107, and that'll be fun. But I don't know where I want to put my EU characters, but I'm kind of thinking I want to consolidate everything on Meriadoc. Do a little bit of a light-hearted thing, hang out with the RPers, maybe, I don't know. It do be what it do be. But there's one character whose fate is going to be in question until Professor Corey decides if he's going to do anything about this. Because my character in the Mythgard kinship, Corey doesn't directly run the Mythgard kinship. It is the kinship that was created out of the university, but it's not directly run by the university. Like, I think I might be the only officer who actually works for the university, but I could be wrong. And I'm primarily only there to, you know, because of Corey. So, depends on what Corey's going to do. We're probably going to talk about that tomorrow after class, Corey and I, because I did mention it in Signum Slack. But obviously other things have been more of an issue. Gotta do a little bit of support here. Make sure that's all good. So one of the other things I've been doing a lot is I'm in the Great Lotro Migration Discord, which has a crap ton of people in it. And answering as many questions as I can with the knowledge that I have at hand. Hang on, 32. I see a couple of cute kitties on the chair next to me. Skittish and Mama are snoozing. And they both look terribly cute. Anywho. Holly Kitty, Holly Kitty. It would be nice to have a chick name ability prior to transfer a character or kin. Yeah. I mean, there's definitely going to be... You have a kid in Evernight with the word knights that might not be acceptable now? Maybe. I don't think they would take on something with the word knight in it. Even though those 3 letters in the middle might be... But I think you'll be okay. Because I think there's a lot of kinships with the word knight or knights in it. I mean, Knights of the White Lady on Landreval. You know, one of the most well-known LGBTQ friendly kinships out there. Guarendis is a member therein. If I recall correctly. Been around since beta. Well, if they change the naming filters, it doesn't matter how long you've been around, honestly. For example, once upon a time, there was a bunch of people who wanted to create a kinship called the Department of Hobbit Security during the lovely runs to Isengard with Sapiens back in the day. And while in previous years you could have the word Hobbit in a kin name, at some point it got added to the filter and you couldn't create a kin name with a Hobbit in it. They eventually changed it back. So people can now create kin names with the word Hobbit in it again. I feel for the folks in customer service, there's going to be a lot of upset players. That we had nights since then, I have no idea. I don't see why you wouldn't be able to get to keep it, Guarendis, simply because you guys are a known kinship. Just as I fully expect that if somebody tries to troll and take my kinship name, I will get it back. Because I'm the only person who's ever used that name. It was the name of my old radio show, and I own radiofreegallifrey.com, even if I haven't actually ever put a website up for it. I own the domain name. So... And I do fully expect, and this is not ego speaking, but just simple common sense, that if somebody tries to steal the name Phoenix, I'm gonna get it back. So I don't think Knight is coming up against the, oh, you can't have something, a leadership sort of name in your title or in your kin name or anything like that. No, it's not celebrity status in this particular case, Kevin. It's the fact that this character is literally 17 years old. And I'm the only person who plays a character named Phoenix on any of the servers. And even if not for that, this is my stream character. And worst case scenario, I will tell Cordovan I will steal his cat. I wouldn't steal Lizzie, because... she's a good kitty and she deserves to live where she lives. But I would tell Cord, I'm going to come up to your house and pet your cat until you kick me out. And give me my character name back. And he has no control over any of that stuff. There are a couple of my character names that I would expect. Like, there's one name that I have, and I'm avoiding saying the name because I don't want people to find this video later and go, yoink! But there are a couple of character names that I have on every single server that may be common words or maybe words that people might want. And it's one of my level 150 characters. who has been on stream, both here and the official. And if somebody tries to take that on the servers, I'm going to petition for it. It's just, it is what it is. I don't think, honestly, I don't think I'm one of the people that anybody gives enough of a shit about to want to troll. There's a couple of folks, only because they have a couple of pathetic dudes that have, like, some hatred for me because I used to be Cord's co-pilot or whatever on his streams. And they, oh my god, Jorah's Fire has control over Standing Stone. I'm like, what the fuck? If I had control over Standing Stone, they would have fixed Valar like 10 years ago and make them actually useful. Beyond, oh hey, you have a level boost. Now spend 3 weeks fixing your character before you can actually play it. Man, oh man. But I expect somebody to try to go against people like, oh, I don't know, Bloodborne. Folks like that. Someone took his name on Angmar. Yeah, that's a dick move. That is definitely a dick move. And I see that happening more to somebody like that who has a much larger viewership, honestly. Because he does PvP, it's also, he's like one of the first people to ever become a Twitch partner based solely on playing Lotro. There was somebody who got that first, that was Stina. She got to be Twitch partner for playing primarily Lotro back in the day. So he wasn't the first, but it's one of those things. There's a certain kind of culture you kind of attract as a streamer, and not, you know, depending on the community that you're in, if you present yourself as a top tier player, like I know my class back to front, I do T5 raids, blah blah blah, people are going to be shittier to you than they're going to be just some random person who can, you know, barely get 15 people to watch any given time. And I appreciate every single one of you. You are not a number to me. Because the numbers are so small, that means each of you mean more. And I think it does do a lot of PvP as well. And there's a part of that is PvP culture. I mean, there's a lot more trash talking amongst PvPers, even more so than raiders. It is what it is. I mean, sometimes people get a little personal about it. Sometimes people I think most reasons why somebody would have a go at me specifically is because I'm a Lotro streamer and I'm friends with Cordovan. And I used to be on a show. You did Lotro PvP for almost a year. You contain multitudes. There it is. You did Lotro PvP for almost... I couldn't. Lotro PvP is so not fun for me. It's so not fun for me. I have PvP'd my ass off in World of Warcraft. In fact, in Season 3 of Dragonflight, I went and earned three of the unobtainable, now unobtainable elite PvP outfits. I had some help, but I have them. I've beaten Wintergrasp as the Alliance defending before. My friend Josh, who actually is a voice actor, loves WoW PvP. He played WoW and also PvP before he was ever hired to do voices for Blizzard. And he hates Wintergrasp so much. Game jumping, someone coming in from WoW to take my names? Nah. I'm nobody in the WoW community. I am known in passing to a bunch of WoW developers and some WoW community members, but I'm nobody in WoW. I played Creepside on Ark. That was with a pack of wargs that were mostly girls. Yeah, I mean, you can have fun in PvP in Lotro. I just never really cared much about it, one way or the other. It's like, okay, whatever. I mean, I did run chickens through frequently to get the Fool title on so many characters. And I had a lot of fun doing it. I know there's a lot of people who are very upset that, oh my god, I have to set foot in the PvP area to get this thing. But I haven't really been too offended or upset when a required reward, like a reward required PvP. And I used to be very anti-PvP. I used to hate PvP. I would never play on a PvP server. Like, there's open world PvP on it. Hate it. Fucking hate open world PvP. And in the case of Lord of the Rings, no fucking lore justification for it. The Bombadil server was actually kind of fun because it was goodies against goodies, and it was only for funsies for 1 month, and we had fun and had done with it. The most fun I had with the Bombadil server was having to try to play through instances to get your deeds completed with a mixed party. It's like, watch your damn AoEs. You guys already knew where the wargs like to hide from playing one? Yeah, see, you knew the tricks on the other side. But I understand also that there's a lot of people who don't want to play PvP. And that is entirely the thing. And so I understand the folks being upset that they had to PvP to get something they wanted. It's kind of very much like, oh, I have to do mythic raiding to get this, or I have to do mythic dungeons to get this. Yeah. It all comes down to what you're willing to do to get what you want. And sometimes, yes, these groups that you don't normally run with will get things that you want. And it's not unfair that they get cool things that you have to put in the work to earn. That's why I never really worry about, oh, I have to do XYZ to get this thing that I want. It's either, okay, do the work, or go without. And that's really always the way it's been. It's like, either you're willing to put in the work, or you're not. And it's kind of thing is like, I'm with the raiders when the raiders get upset that, oh my god, how dare non-raiders get access to these cool things that should be for raiders only. Okay, to be fair, during Warlords of Draenor, Blizzard did a thing where they had a mount that you could earn. No, it was during Legion, never mind, it was Legion. Where there was a mount that you could earn by beating the end boss of the expansion on Heroic or Mythic, and it was a really nice mount. And so your choices were get good, not in a disrespectful way, but get good, because get on that level so you can run with a group and get it done. Or you get carried. And there was a very large trade in carrying people through content so they could get the freaking moose. It was a thing called Friendship Moose that turned into a whole charity thing. It's like, okay, we're raising money for charity, and also we're going to do free runs. We got this group of raiders who could carry X amount of people. Just go into the raid, tag the boss, stand over in the corner. And, like, thousands of people got their moose because of it, and then some people in the raiding committee were pissed because they were losing money on selling these carries, and other people didn't like the people who were running the event, so one of them decided to accuse the main person running it of basically doing it for money, when he's being a hypocrite. He said he wasn't doing this for money, but now he's a Twitch partner, so he's taking people's money. And one time, the guy had done one run because somebody won like some charity role and they left the terms too open, and so the guy asked to have one of the runs be him and his friends. And so this one other guy got his nose out of joint. He was somebody well known in the community. Come to find out, the guy who got my friend in trouble was himself a scuzzball and got arrested in a child sex sting. And nobody went to my friend and apologized to him for believing this scumbag. So, good times. I mean, my friend got chased away from playing it all. Very, very bad time for him because, like, everybody who were acting nice to him suddenly, like, shunned him, and he gave up his Twitch partnership and basically stopped streaming for, like, a few years, and eventually only just recently started coming back. So he's got to be careful with that shit. I should be questing, shouldn't I, instead of lecturing and yapping. Being a yapper. Guarendis has gone offline.
I am Nomuro. Pleased to meet you, outsider.
We already know each other! Okay, you're the sworn protector and hand of the queen! Leader of the Delhi, Subuzuri. I want to keep seeing SUBU and I think Subaru. My brain wants me to think Subaru. I know it's nothing like Subaru. It's like the first three letters are the same. It's like whatever. If you play me that line, singer of songs of Vizadi's deeds and battles. Dude, are you like banging her? Sounds like you're banging her, but it's fine. I don't judge. Okay, these battles from Urmax to the Hood. Did I wait till hyper times? Urgent matter which I, as your help scouts of the all-seeing, have been pressing closer and closer. I'm not going to read all these quest stuff to you. Okay, people have been captured. Defeat cultists and free the captives. Okay, we can do that. Alright, what's your second quest?
As we move throughout Korenzar, grab any supplies or packs you see.
Korenzar. I would have thought it'd be Korenzar, but it's Korenzar. I like that, how they pronounce that. Grab stuff. Okay. I'm gonna ask your scholar what you want.
I have a small favor to ask. If it is not too much trouble, that is.
I love the voice acting in these regions because it shows a dedication to ensuring that the cultures for this area sound like the cultures they look like. And that's not a, oh my god, they sound exactly like people from the Mediterranean or from the Middle East or whatever. It's lending authenticity to the fact that these aren't, just white people from Ireland or whatever. Okay. Speaking of Ireland, I had a little dram of Irish cream, Bailey's chocolate flavored Irish cream. Oh, it is so good. It is so good. Real Belgian chocolate, isn't it? Mm. So I don't have a shot glass. So I poured a small measure into one of my blue glass goblets. And just sipped on it while I was watching an acquaintance named Gingy streaming. He might stream again tonight. I hope he does. He's been having some rough times of late. And I hope he gets back in the saddle and streams some more. And he made the mistake of reading Reddit, who is not his best fan. And he's a great streamer. He's a fun dude to watch. Okay. Alright. Spending your time in books, then in war. Feel that. Yep. They regularly destroy and burn historical documents. Oh, the fiends! The fiends! As an historian, I appreciate people who don't burn books. Alright. We'll save your scrolls, buddy. I'm with you. Right, Mr. Scout.
In my latest scouting excursion, I saw something troubling, friend. The Barkushium have allied themselves with a group of orcs.
They make their camp near the top of Kurenzar. Okay, so bad guys jumping into alliances with other bad guys. There's a big one named Schalblug. Kick his ass. I can do that. One thing I want to double check real quick is that's not the right button. This is the right button. I want to see where my Shigani Gin are. Yes, I know. I need to spend my figments. Oh, they're on landscape. Okay, so I need to be careful and probably start spending some of this. Okay. Actually, let me go do that real quick. They're right over here. Let's see what we got here.
Nihu, it is good to see you.
Hi. I'm not a friend to them yet. So, I mean, I like the floors, but, you know, I really don't want more housing decorations. How about you?
May the seas be calm and the winds fair.
As I say this, more housing decorations. So I could buy some of those. Don't use the bauble item if you want to barter for it again. Well, yeah. Because it will say that you can't have it. Ow, my nose. If you wanted to buy, like, the bauble for multiple characters, I gotcha. That does seem kind of a bit odd. The Delving Quartermaster. Ah, my nose. I feel like there's dust in here or something. Alright. Well.
Umbar is a free city at last.
I'm gonna buy a couple of these. Maybe 4 of them. That'll bring me down a little bit further under the limit. And then I will send them over to my housing nerd. What I forgot to do is that. Also. I can't remember the last time I had to repair my gear because I keep forgetting to talk to Wenda Cranesville. Hold up. Before we do this, let's... Not you. Let's send stuff to people. I did do some housekeeping on this housing storage characters inventory. And I did use my Legacy of Morgoth free housing box to get another housing box. Carry-all. Another housing carry-all. Alright. Let's go see what the Queen wants. Let me see what the Queen wants. Poking the eye?
I see that you can get things done. That bodes well for us.
You have no room in any of your houses with all the decorations, so no desire to barter for more of those things. Maybe after the new housing. Fair. One thing I would look into, and I saw this in one of the Discords, and I thought this was a really great idea, is catalog up all of the housing decorations you have that you can just repurchase from the regular vendor for silver. And which vendor you get it from. Like the ones from the housing furnishers in each neighborhood. Stuff like that. Sell your Dwaynes. You can just buy more Dwaynes. Yes, you're going to lose a little money on the transfer, but it'll save you a pile of space. So, yeah, we're going to have to do a lot of lists and tallying and stuff like that. Okay, talent for stealth seems matched only by Razal. Technician, care patient, they draw a log. We accepted several spies around the perimeter, scouting our defenses. Go back to Kuranzar and destroy the weapons there whilst they're still being built. Black powder destroying things? Hell yeah, I'll go. Let me get the other quest.
We are close to retaking Koronzar and drive the loathsome Barhushim out. Soon, we will reunite all of Hamat under our banner of hope.
Kuranzar is the key. Need to set up spreadsheets, you guess? You should get paid for the data handling. Yeah. It's gonna be a lot of work. I mean, for folks who only have like 1 or 2 characters, even for them it can be a little bit troublesome. I feel for all the folks in the housing community who may have decorations donated to people, or there's concerns raised earlier about, well, what about this player who has passed away? I know Lonely Mountain Band, for example, is keeping Jeffroy's housing taken care of. 6 premium houses and a traditional one. Okay. We're gonna go kick this couple of people. I don't know anything about clearing up housing. Yep. I don't know if there's any way for them to retain his housing for him, unless, for example, Hollyberry could get a hold of his family, get a hold of his account, and transfer stuff over. But his housing stuff, they would have to be repurchased. So yeah. Nearly and Chromite, yeah. Chromite's no longer with us. I mean, there's a reason why my Mythgard character still wears the Dances with Tentacles title that Chromite helped me get. Evening, Metro Hotness. How you doing? Oh, my nose. They want to be a butthead tonight. Alright, we're gonna do some quests. We had some, me jibber-jabbering earlier. And we did a lot of serious discussion. The stream started off a bit heavy, discussing the recent events in California, and also the recent revelations, the intense details that we learned about the allegations against author Neil Gaiman. But also, we've been talking about the upcoming Elotro 64-bit worlds and transfers and what's gonna happen, and there is a lot to process. It's still early days, so it's okay if you're feeling very overwhelmed about it. Because I don't know about you, but I am too. At least I've been fortunate enough that I've done enough transfers from server to server. For example, when Shadowfax closed, when Ithil closed, when Honor closed. I have a firm grasp on how these things work for the most part. But there's still some answers we don't know the answer, some questions we don't know the answers to. And I think one of the big ones is that it's in my belief that Standing Stone needs to enable 100% writ refund for all premium houses for anybody transferring to the new worlds. Normally, it's 90%. And it didn't used to be that high either. It used to be like less, like 60%, 75% somewhere. Eventually, they made it so 90% if you voluntarily transfer from server A to server B. And it's only for premium housing. Classic housing never had housing writs involved at all, so you don't get any refunds, even if you paid in advance, and that's the same as always. However, on any world that Standing Stone or Turbine previously closed, players would get 100% refund because it wasn't our choice to move. But I do remember when Ithel closed and when Shadowfax closed, we had to make them turn it on because by default it's the 90%. So they're going to have to specifically turn it on so it works right. Glad you could make me chuckle. I got a great sense of humor. Sometimes I don't, but a lot of times I do. I do appreciate a good pun. And by a good pun, I mean a really bad pun. But one thing too, I think that might help in understanding this process is, again, it's extending empathy and compassion. And the simple understanding is like when you ask, doesn't Standing Stone know how much of a pain this is for us, or doesn't Standing Stone understand how important our names are to us? They know. But they can't hold up this whole process for a certain couple of things. And they know that it's not everybody is going to be able to get exactly what they have, exactly where they have it. But they still have to make the hard decisions on how these things are supposed to work. Knowing full well that they're not going to be able to please everybody. And it's not that they don't care. And that's one, sometimes they just don't care about whatever the thing is. And it's like, I remember yelling at somebody who decided that I was joking when I was talking about the developers, and they said, yeah, the devs were lazy, and he thought he was just playing along with the joke, and I'm like, no, fuck off with that. Because the devs are the least lazy people that I know, by and large. Standing Stone devs is much... Actually, the Standing Stone devs tend to be busier than other studios, simply because, by and large, they don't do crunch. Which I appreciate Severlin for not forcing his people to go through crunch. Crunch is an evil practice. And we're not talking, putting in a couple of extra, a few extra weekends hither and yonder, a little extra time here, giving up your Saturday to work, a little extra stuff. We're talking like 6 months to a year of working 6 days a week, 14, 15 hours a day. That shit burns people. It ruins their health, both mental and physical. It ruins, their family lives. They don't get a family life. They'll miss shit that their kids are doing. Missing the passing of a relative or something. Crunch is bad. And crunch was invented by C-suite executive suits who plan their projects very, very badly. I will never advocate for crunch in a game dev studio. And I've always appreciated that Standing Stone has been a no crunch studio. I know some people like to give Severlin shit about whatever, but the dude cares about his people. He cares about them so damn much. There's actually one of his developers who had a medical procedure and had put up a GoFundMe or an Indiegogo for it, and they'd only gotten like half of their goal. And literally at the 11th hour before the campaign was supposed to expire, Severlin rolled in and out of his own personal money paid the other half of the request. That was also how I knew that that individual, who at the time was just a contracted employee, was going to be hired on full time, because you don't pay out, you know, $5,000 for somebody's medical procedure if you weren't intending on, you know, hiring them full time. And in fact, that very same developer had a major hand in Legacy of Morgoth, so yay! Okay, so I got that one done. I haven't gotten all the supplies yet, but this is the way I came in, so I've already done this circuit. So we're going up this way. And I haven't beat up all of the siege engines, so there's something to do. Maybe there's one up here. We'll find out. So I was pretty much right. You can kind of tell the layers of history of this place just by looking at it. Like, it originally started as Numenorian or Gondorian construction. The oldest stuff here, the most ruined stuff. And then you got the newer stuff going on here, which is going to be like the Shagani stuff. And then you got that big honkin' freaking thing back there. And I kind of do like this altered, or this variant of the Black Serpent flag. It's 2 black serpents and the Eye of Sauron. Okay, why is this pointing back this way? Which one is it? We'll go this way and clean house. So I was actually playing the other game a lot last night after my stream of the other game on their channel. And I ground my lantern for the kitty cat, which requires 2,000 durability. I got it over 1,800 last night. So it's just something you just, again, it's a case of, well, you do what you gotta do to get what you're looking for. Need to save one more burned scroll and get some supplies. There's supplies. Though I realized I needed to step back and stop playing at around 2 in the morning when the head of the beast manifested twice in close succession. And I wound up getting killed both times. The head of the beast is the hardest one of the Miststalker NPCs. The head of the beast is a purple named mob, and he will kick your ass if you're not paying attention. But it also means he's worth 50 points on Elite. And all I would have to do is get the Head of the Beast 4 more times to complete the lantern, turn it in, and get a kitty cat. Account wide. Not just a kitty cat pet, but a kitty cat to ride around in style. Okay, where's the last siege engine? Yeah, it's down here. I don't think I'll be able to jump down there, though. Maybe, no. I'll just run back out. Fight everything on the way out, maybe. I still need 2 more bits of supplies. Let's see if they're over here. Ooh, hello. There's the orc, one of the orcs we need. Hi. I'm pretty sure I don't want to know what they're cooking. Can you smell what the rock is cooking? Nah, I wish I couldn't. Was I told to kill Karsu? I have... Well, Shalbov we were told to get for sure. Yeah, I don't have a quest to kill that guy. Did I miss somebody's quest? Hang around a posy, pocket full of gold. Ashes, ashes, we all fall down. So I don't know about that guy. So I imagine I'll be sent back to kill him on another quest. What's going on here? Is this a town that it phases and it turns into a good guy town? So that would be kind of interesting. I do want to get an eyeball on the thing over there. It's like a mini Barradur. Ever since the first time I was killing brigands in the Shire. Not in the Shire, but in Breland. Like at Sweetwater Farm or whatever by Bill Fernie's house. And you kill the brigand ladies and they make that sound. And it sounds like whoop, like a chicken. Anybody else remember that? So this feels like a place where bad guys hang out. But it doesn't have a name, which is a little bit interesting. Like, it doesn't have a place name. It's just like random Sauronic construction. Though, I think we might need a little bit of help grounding this part of the structure a little bit. I mean, there's flying buttresses and then there's these flying buttresses. They're flying indeed. I don't think that's what they mean when they talk about flying buttresses. What tree am I on my champ? I am primarily redline with a deep splash of yeller. So I do have Raging Blade. The Xing Xing, because the Xing Xing is awesome. Okay, there's a lot more dudes up that away. But I still need to find a scroll and destroy a siege weapon. So we're gonna go back down that away. See what we can do to get that done. Currently trying yellow with a splash of red. Yeah, the one character that I have, all of the... have that name on all of the servers, but with one at level 150 is a yellow champion with a deep splash of red. I haven't really played blue champion, because there really wasn't much point in it after they took shields away from champions a long time ago when we were all very sad. Hi guys, what you up to? Well, see, the thing is, blue champion was meant to be an actual off-tanking spec. The problem is, there's captains which could be, you know, off-tanking spec with sword and board. There's captains, there were guardians, there were... Well, not at the time. I think this was... The shields going away, I think, was an artifact of Moria. So, wardens, at the time we were told we were losing our shields, are still not in the game. But, okay, so we got that. And let's set this one as the quest focus. And it's going to lead me that away. Probably up there again. Let's go back up that way. But there were just so many options for sword and board that they felt it would be more fun for champion to not be sword and board, but to only have two-hander or dual wielding as option. Because champ is the only... Champ and Bergs are the only two classes that dual wield like this. Two weapons rather than sword and board or sword and whatever. Unless I'm mistaking. Because there's, of course, minstrels. They don't quite count in this. And captain shields. Back in the day, captain shields would have will on them. Because back in the day, if you wanted to be a blue captain and be a healer, you needed will items. So you can still see some artifacts in the game of items that were clearly made back in the day when captains were will-based characters in heavy armor. Heavy shields with will on them was a thing. I love dual wielding. I mean, hello, Anakin Skywalker. Hello. Though to be fair, I've always loved dual wielding even before I saw Attack of the Clones. Before Anakin got his arm cut off. Back when Jedi were allowed to have attachments because nobody batted an eye at the fact that Luke Skywalker had parents. That his dad was a Jedi. No one gave a crap about it until Attack of the Clones when George said, nope! They're like celibate priests. And George were like, George, shut the hell up, man. I do find it really funny, though, by the way, how after the prequels, George could do wrong. Like, people really were like, George, just go away. You screwed up the prequels so damn bad, man. And now that it's 20 some odd years later, people are like, come back, George, all is forgiven. Because they don't like what Kathleen Kennedy is doing with the Star Wars franchise. I personally am pissed that horrible people on the internet bullied them into canceling The Acolyte. The Acolyte was a damn good show. By the way, watch Skeleton Crew. Ooh, tonight, or is it tonight or tomorrow? Season finale. I'm like, oh my god, please let that show continue. It's so much fun. It's like the Goonies, but Star Wars. When they release new servers and you create 3 characters for the names, how would I go about transferring them over? Okay, let me get into town and we'll talk about how things will work. Or how I recommend things work. Okay. First of all, we're going to assume that the 3 names you have are 3 names that you already have on your existing world and that you managed to get them as your VIP reservation. Because bearing in mind, you have to be VIP to reserve names a day early. Okay. So, first day, reserve names. Let's say you got your 3 names on all 4 of the new servers. We'll simplify it to 1 server for right now. Let's assume you're sending your characters from Landreval to Peregrine. Since you have your 3 names, you're going to want to, first of all, make sure your housekeeping is done on those 3 characters on Landreval. Make sure your shared storage is ready to go. If you're sending it with you, make sure that your character inventory is settled. Clear out your mailbox. Do all that other fun stuff. Make sure you're ready to pick up and move. If you're a kin leader with one of those characters, you have to abandon, but preferably sell, your kin house. Otherwise, the transfer is most likely going to fail and you have to send it through again. It's after you sell the house. So, kin leaders have to sell the house before they can move. It is what it is. Alright. Since when you're ready to go, you've got your 3 new, then you got your 3 old. Do not delete the 3 new just yet. To make it as safe as possible so you don't run into the potential of losing your 3 names. Do a transfer of somebody else with the same name. Transfer in your old characters to the new server. They will get the -1 after their name, but that's okay. Okay? Once the server is open to play, what you can then do is log into the server, delete the old character that's got the good version of your name, the placeholder, then immediately jump over to the old character with the -1 and go in and do / change name, a space, and then the correct name. And then the game will tell you that you successfully changed your name to whatever. And don't ever do this on a stream if you're a streamer. And don't tell anybody you're doing it. And if you want to wait a little bit to like the dead of the night or something, if that's convenient for you or not, you can try that. I personally, because the reason you don't want to delete the placeholder before you transfers on that first day and for quite a while after the floodgates open are going to take a much longer time than usual. Like hours and hours and hours, most likely. Because there are some people who got 20 characters on one server and they're sending all freaking 20 of them to the new server. They're just picking up stakes and going, yoop! The transfer system is going to be slammed. And Severlin also held out the notion that it's possible that it may break and that people will have to re-queue their transfers. You may get the lovely email from Standing Stone, your transfer has failed. Da, 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 da. So you definitely want to have patience both with the developers and with each other. And when it comes to the name, if you can't make a case for trolling, and you can't make a case that you are the only person who is active on that name currently on the servers, then I would recommend not forgetting to finish one of the quests. That's what I should do. I would recommend coming up with a list of backup names. And I know for our peers, the names are important. You write stories about this character. You live as this. You're not just playing this character. You're living as this character. So I understand that names are very, very important. Hello, I'm on a character named Phoenix. I'm going to be fucking pissed if somebody steals my name. Ask me how salty I was when DDO launched a 64-bit server and had it set up so that certain VIP accounts couldn't log in and other non-VIP accounts could log in, and made a whole freaking list of names, and I can't be Phoenix on that new server, and the person who has that name has been fucking sitting on it since they opened the damn server. And somebody has been sitting on the name Phoenix on both Angmar and Mordor and not fucking using it. On the other hand, it gives me ammunition because that means I'm the only active Phoenix in all of Lotro, and if somebody tries to steal my name, I'm going to come after them. I'm going to go to Standing Stone and say, look, give me my stuff back. People will want more than just 3 names, so they'll be arrested or transferred to get the other names too. Yep, Thrums, exactly right. Some people are going to have more money than some people who have money, deep pockets, are going to create multiple VIP accounts, or they're going to do whatever. And they're going to use those accounts to create additional names. We know people are going to try to game the system, because that's what they always do. So I understand that I'm going to lose names. There's only a couple of them that I'm going to choose to be precious about, to use the UK term, not the, what's Taylor's precious? Right? In more UK-based parlance, Galdwin or other folks in the UK can tell you, to be precious about something is to basically be a petty little bitch about it. I'm going to be precious about the name Phoenix because this character, this very character on your screen right now, has been an active played character for 17 years. Going on 18. This character was created the day open beta opened in 2007. Has always had the same name. And I hold this name on all of the servers except Laurelin, and the person has it there has been idle at level 15 or whatever. And the 2 people with level 1 placeholders on Angmar and Mordor. I can't make a trolling case for those 2 servers. But since Severlin raised the point, I might see if I might just ask him if I can have the 2 names over on those other servers. I'm not so fussed about Laurelin. I'm not too fussed about Laurelin. There's one other name that I'll be a little bit precious about, and that is my second favorite name, which I have on every single server, and is the name of my main over on Angmar and Mordor. And that's the same name that I use here on Landrevault for my Mythgard alt. So there's that. And so nobody can make a case for having that name on any server recently, because I've had it on every server since 2015, and then every time they'd spin up a new server since then, like the Legendary Worlds, had it on those 2. So, but I would hope that people choose not to troll. I just know people will troll, because they always do. And I kind of think that's why they limited to 3 per VIP account. Is what happened when they opened the DDO Cormier server. First of all, they done fucked up. Because free-to-play and premium accounts were able to log into that server and create a shit ton of names. They fixed that. But also, a selected pile of VIP accounts, mine included, were not able to log in to claim names at all. Eventually, I managed to get in and get a pile of really good names, including my second. Which, you know, if I can't have my main one, if I don't get my second one, then I'm really going to be salty. But no, I got it. And it's my DDO stream character. And... yeah. But I appreciate them saying in advance that, you know, streamers, known community leaders, like Yao should be able to get all of his characters. Eldalis should be able to get all of her characters because she's not only a streamer, but she's also one of the directors of the wiki. Team leaders like Ponton Finberry should be able to get his name on all the servers because he's Ponton fucking Finberry. But they also raised the, like, if you're, you know, the active one with that character, and you have a high-level character with that, you should be able to get your name back. So, it's hopeful. Oh my god, it's Pantera! I haven't seen you in how damn long, sir? How have you been? Are you still working for, Spectrum? Because that'd be funny if you were, because I'm not. So once upon a time, Pantera and I used to work for the same damn company, in different parts of the country, in the same equivalent department. Unfortunately, my particular call center got the heave-ho in 2019, a week after I bought my damn car. Which, by the way, I'm really excited about. I'm going to pay off my car later this year. I'm super freaking excited not to have a car payment anymore. But yeah, they basically said, hey, here's a week of pay. Here's a week of pay for every week that you've got seniority in the company. And you're no longer working actively as of this date next week. No, they literally pulled us off the phone mid-call. They pulled us off the phone mid-call. So that's when you know shit was going down. And they had some suit from corporate in, but they had to have some poor executive lady talk to us and say, like, he didn't say a damn word. He was just there. And yeah, it was bad news. I will be honest, they did give us 1 week of pay for every week every year we had. So I had 4 months of pay and didn't have to work for those 4 months. And that was after 1 month, we had 60 days while we were still part of the company, could find other jobs within the company, and still officially accounted as employed. I think I didn't go back through this way, did I? And I eventually wound up with the company that I'm with now, but it took a while to get there. It was rough times. Wound up having to cash out my 401k from the Spectrum in order to keep my damn house. That was not good times. Okay, it's pointing back this way. We'll go back that way. And now the company that I work for the day job, the main day job, is a digital signage company. We have various clients that you have seen. If you are in America and have gone to certain places, you have seen our work. And my second job is for Signum University. I work for Professor Corey Olson, the Tolkien professor. And I do all kinds of fun stuff for the university. You're a trainer now? Hell yeah! I'm also a trainer at my company, and later this year, my boss is trying to get a promotion, taking over the job of somebody who's retiring this year. And he wants me to take over his job, and that means I will become the manager of the call center, if all goes well. Fangies crossed. So kind of exciting times, but again, it hasn't been finalized. I was basically his #1 choice for the thing, so... I don't happen to live in Tennessee. No, I've been to Tennessee several times. Used to drive through it every year. I-75 straight through from Kentucky to Georgia on my way to Atlanta for DragonCon every year. I'm not gonna kick this guy again because it'll be fun, and I want to eat that chest. So that is potential good news, but again, it's not set in stone. However, we recently discussed how sometime soon here in the near future, I will start sitting in on his meetings with management and whatnot, and start basically learning the ropes and eventually transitioning on over to doing his job. The good news is that I will be salaried. Though that might not be such good news. Even though I'm hourly, you know, I don't work overtime for the most part. You just know a big signage company there? We've been hilarious. Yeah, no, our office, like, our headquarters is in New York City. It's in Manhattan. And, we don't actually make the digital signs, you know, like there's a company out there called, Watchfire. I've seen their digital signs, like, along the interstate and whatnot. We don't make signs like that. We make ones that tend to wind up being inside an office or a store or something. And yes, I am deliberately being cagey about who our clients are because, you know, it is what it is. So, Pantera, what games are you playing? Playing any fun games? Feels like it should be up there somewhere, maybe. We'll go look around. We'll go poke around a little bit. Not like on this side of the battlement, but on the other side, maybe. Salary is a blessing and a curse. Yeah, I mean, if you're expected to work overtime, then you're kind of... It really depends on how the hourly wage breaks down, because right now, I need 2 jobs to... Kevin with the gifty to Pantera. Yeah, I met Pantera through the Landmark community, so it still had something to do with Daybreak, interestingly enough. So Landmark started off as an adjunct to, and one to Metro Hotness. Hell yeah, we're getting some subs up in here. This is so exciting. It's very, very gratifying to have folks willing to subscribe to this silly ass channel. Even gifties are cool. one thing about being such a small community is that every single subscription matters. Like, I see some channels where they has mad support where it's like, oh my god, this person just dropped in 10 gifties. I'm like, I would kill for somebody to drop 10 gifties. But I also recognize it's fucking expensive. I think I dropped 10 gifties on a channel once in my life. And it's like, I'm not made of money. Alright, Dual Universe, Cyberpunk 2077, an Indiana Jones game. I got a 5 gifties from Igneous the other day. Very grateful to Igneous. Igneous is such a sweetheart. Igneous is also the person, he sent me an NVIDIA 1080 back when I was still rocking a 1060. And that was before I bought the 3060 I've got now. So Igneous is one of my favorite supporters, but you're all my favorites. I don't think I've ever gotten a 10 gifty, and that's okay. I'm not begging people to throw gifties at the channel, for fuck's sake. Yeah, he was the one who... whoops. I'm going in very bad places. I'm gonna get knocked off my horse, especially... Don't get up onto this. Come on, come on, come on. Let's go. Let's go. Come on, let's go. There we go. It's... Pantera, if you're buying a 5090 from me, I will put it in my rig. To be fair, I just dropped like $600 on the rig for Black Friday, which is why this game looks so much better than it used to. But I'm actually okay with my system not having the latest, greatest technology. Honestly. I'm okay. I have a better rig now than I had a month and a half ago. And that's good enough for me, right? The Ryzen's been really nice. The only thing that's been causing any sort of concerns for me is one of the 2 fans on the CPU cooler likes to start vibrating like it's gonna come out of its socket or something. But all I have to do is reboot the PC and it settles down. You have a 7900 XTX, so I don't know if that's a graphics card or a Ryzen CPU. I now have a Ryzen 7 77. It's in the thing below. I updated it. 7700X coupled with 32 gigs of RAM. I had 32 gigs of RAM before, to be fair. What started out as buying a 3-piece package of motherboard, chip, and RAM turned into a buy all new fans for the system, buy a really nice cooler that was normally $250 but was discounted to 65 or so. Yoink! And then discovering that the power supply in the case was failing, so new power supply. No, I have an EVGA CLXC 2-fan. This particular CPU cooler was one that you could either mount above your CPU or mount it in the front of the case. And I'm like, why not have fans in both places? RIP EVGA? Why? Why? Oh, you're using a 1500 X3D? Yeah, those are nice. The system now has 4 Corsair case fans, 1 EVGA water cooler with 2 fans. All of these are RBG fans because why not? And the EVGA CLCX water cooler comes with a little LCD screen. Oh, they know how to make NVIDIA GPUs. Yeah, my actual GPU is from Zotac. The 3060 is from Zotac. You have 10 case fans? Damn, son. There's also the fan in the power supply. I did swap out the power supply for a Corsair, and one of my friends in Devlore's community is like, yeah, no, Corsair bad. And I'm like, all the Corsair pieces have been behaving themselves. Airflow, yeah. Yep. But the CPU cap has an LCD screen on it that will show like static images. You can put static images on it. Or it can show you the temperature and speeds of your fans. The temperature of the chip and the speeds of whatever. Or it can show little mini videos. So I actually have it playing the video right behind my head here. It looks so fucking baller. It's so freaking cool. You like Corsair PSUs? Yeah, the previous PSU I had was an EVGA. But even before I put any new parts in the system, the last time I turned the rig off and I go to turn it back on because I forgot something, it wouldn't boot. It wouldn't post at all. Your NZXT AO has a screen too? Yeah. I did. There's actually this one in Discord, Kevin. I think I posted it in Discord. Yeah, if you go, there's a post from me on December 15th, and it shows like one of the fans in the background. It looks really, really cool. And it shows you how very blue my system is. Da blue, da be dee, ba ba da ba da ba. And don't judge how badly I hold the camera. Metro, I know you. We'll make you a personage. I will give you the role. Roll. You're one of us. But it's in the tech support channel. Just go back and look for it. It looks really cool.
You found some! So many! This is excellent! There is so much we can learn from these!
I love it. I love the voice acting in this expansion. It feels so right. Alright, Numuru.
You defeated them! Excellent! We will sing of your exploits yet, my friend!
Sing about me. Please sing about me.
You found them all! That is welcome news indeed. Oh, be careful! I shall soon have to make a song for your deeds.
This guy is being this is the first time he was talking about songs. Yeah, that fire is dope. Because this video behind my head was a video I found on one of those sites that sells like stock photos and stock videos, and so I licensed it. Geo is old and not responding to your calls to join. Aww, I haven't talked to Geo in a long time. Hope he's doing okay. I've seen him that he's been streaming, so. Who's chattering in my Discord? Be Metro. One of us. We accept you, one of us.
This is a wonder. Well done. Every peck nut in their possession is food in the bellies and supplies on the shelves of people of renewed Hamah.
Oh, we almost put a at the end of that. Deed bestowed and deed completed.
Ah, this is wonderful news. You have bought us a fortnight of time or more.
Anytime I see Fortnite spelled the correct way, I now start thinking it's spelled wrong because fucking Epic Games. Okay, Armagh can repel any attack the Bahushim, bring forth in the short term and the long term. We will take the fight to the doorstep. Thank you. Really waiting for Dune Awakening? I haven't been keeping up on the Dune movies. I probably should watch them at some point. I'm not too interested in that. I mean, okay. I'm actually more waiting for Tales from the Shire. Though I'm not sure even that kind of game is going to win me over because I do like me a good cozy game once in a while. Not gonna lie. But the way those hobbits run is kind of weirding me out a little bit. I know what it is. I play survival MMOs. I play Ark, man. I got freaking dinosaurs. Right, Skittish? Aww. Skittish kitty. But yeah. But I play Ark. I also play Eco, which is not quite a survival MMO. It's more of a cooperative MMO-ish. MMO light. Mostly I play Lotro and DDO. Arc 2 will eventually come. I've been keeping an eye on the news. I've been like, drumming my fingers on the table anytime they do a new announcement and say they've pushed out the launch of any of the new realms or any of the old maps. And I hate the fact that they keep pushing all of their new paid. It's like, okay, I've paid for Arc 1 twice. I paid for Arc on Steam. Okay, I got the base Arc free on Epic. That's when I first started playing Arc. But I bought all of the DLC for both versions of Arc on both sides. And then I bought ASA, like the Arc 1.5 on Steam. And it looked like fun. I haven't played that version since I upgraded the rig, so I don't know if the upgraded rig will do any better with it. I would imagine it would. Community there is playing PAX Day. I've seen some stuff about it. It wasn't enough to... I mean, I made it like a profile on their system or whatever. You know, you sign up for an account. Get ready to go. Blah, blah, blah. But I haven't really been paying too much attention to it. Right now, when it comes to games that aren't out yet, I'm kind of like, I really have to be interested in it to be willing to drop money on it. Because again, that whole not being made of money. You got Ark Unreal version. You're talking about Ark Survival Ascended, the 1.5 version. Yeah. I mean, it's the same server. It's like the same maps. It's just everything. The building is better in Arc 1.5 than it is in Arc 1.0. Pardon me. The new textures look really cool. The remastered critters look really cool, but it's the same damn map. And I didn't start playing Ark until Crystal Isles came out. So in terms of ASA, I'm not really interested in playing the older maps because they didn't have all the systems for the older maps. They didn't have all the critters on the older maps. Crystal Isles is really... And those free DLCs. Crystal Isles, Lost Island was cool for a while. Fjordur is the one I'm currently playing on the OG Ark. My friend Devilore's parents are hosting an Ark server right now, and we're all playing on that. Fjordur is a really solid map. I really enjoy it. There's still some issues with it, of course, but for the most part, I've been enjoying it. Though when it comes to having other things to do, I have so many other things to do. I only pop in long enough to feed my critters and then go away. Rooted looks like a fun game. I haven't really heard much about Rooted. Devilore and his crew are currently also playing Grounded. Grounded is basically a survival game, co-op, like you and your friends. and you are people who are miniaturized. So your weapons are pieces of plants. Your shield might be part of a walnut shell. A sword might be a little stalk of something, and you build using parts of grass, little twigs and stuff. It's really an interesting take on the survival genre, because it has a lot of the survival mechanics of building and crafting and, fighting things. I don't think it has a lot of the taming stuff. There's no animal taming in it that I'm aware of. But it looks like it's a lot of fun. I mean, and the fact that it's a different... The miniaturization aspect of it makes all the art assets look a lot different. It's like you can take one medieval looking survival game and another medieval survival game, and sometimes you're going to start forgetting which one is which. But this one really, the graphics are so different that it stands out. Same as Stars Reach is interesting. Smoke Jumper's on that one, right? Dave Georgeson? Yeah. I don't remember if you were a fan of his or an anti-fan of his. Because that's a particular minefield. I got along with the guy, but I also know people who hate his guts. He and I got along. He once said, and I have screenshots, I saved the screenshots from Landmark, that he was like, oh my god, you knew Douglas Adams? I'm like, kinda, sorta, no, yeah. I talked to him. Back when Douglas Adams would talk to anybody before he died. But what, to me, Stars of Reach has a lot of promise. I think it has too much hype to live up to. The problem with Stars Reach is it's banking a lot on the reputation of Rafe Koster, who I don't discount as a great game developer. I love the fact that their lead musical person is the leader of my favorite industrial band from the 80s and 90s, Information Society. And his wife used to be one of my sister's coworkers. But yeah, I noticed that Dave was on that project. And that could mean a good thing or a bad thing. I mean, Dave could have settled down from his SOE days. Because, yeah, I heard some stories about that man and his behind closed doors behavior at Sony Online Entertainment. Yeah. But I always got along with him. That doesn't negate what people told me. People who work there. So who would know, and people whose statements I have no reason to distrust. That being said, I have no reason to be a jackass to them. So yeah, when I joined their Discord, and I was like, hey Dave, how you doing? And then we had a little chatter about once I realized who their sound person was, and I'm like, I've been a fan of this guy since the middle 80s. Since the mid-80s. Information Society? Oh my god. And apparently they hired Kurt, and they didn't realize who he was when they hired him. And then it came out later, and they were like, are you kidding me? We hired the lead dude from Information Society? And they did. So I'm probably... That is a game that I might be willing to throw some money at early. But I will acknowledge the fact that I'm kind of leery because as much as Dave is cool and can be fun and has the most amazing Christmas decorations, it's kind of his fault that Landmark went the way it did. What's aura in my weapon? Very good question. This particular weapon aura is the weapon aura of the Elven Blessings. That one. It is my favorite of all the weapon auras. I love it so much. It's so cool. So we've been chatting.
This is quite the day, my friend.
Oh.
Quite the triumph. And you killed Rokobo?
Rokobo? Yes, I did. I kicked his ass. I kicked his ass twice. Because he respawned. Okay, we have much to do before we kill her without your baby. Okay, I get some shoulder pads. Hell yeah. Let's take a look at the other ones. Okay, those look interesting. That one? Wait a minute. That's the style I would have expected for light armor, but that's medium armor? Interesting. That's the agility piece. And then, of course, the top tier get this happiness. And that looks actually really good with this outfit, too. Let me see what they look like in their dyed. Oh, it's just that little triangle there a bit. Okay. Okay. Well, we're going to get ourselves some shoulder pads. And they will not be an upgrade. So we're just going to sell them. Oh, new quests. I forgot that. Gotta head out. Take care, Metro Hotness. And it's the Questing Dad with the raid. Greetings and salutations, our raiders. I am Druidspire. I welcome you and the Questing Dad community, Questing Mom community, here to my little corner of the world. We've been having a good stream today. I've been talking a lot, going over a lot of the details of the upcoming 64-bit servers, because folks have questions, trying to explain stuff based on what I know of how Standing Stone systems work. With the caveat, you know, they could always expend the effort to change things. But I honestly don't think they have time or the inclination to, because it's much more of a pain in the ass to change things. We also started the stream very early on with some heavy discussions about the situation in California right now, and also the allegations against actor Neil Gaiman, which very, very serious, very deep. But we've also been playing a little bit of Lotro here. Playing through the epic story, not. I haven't actually started this current bit of the epic story. But we've been doing quests here in Urmach. And so we have people to talk to. We also have a breadcrumb quest sending us to the new zone, but we're not ready yet. Normally, I don't stream Lotro on Mondays out of respect for my good and dear friend Eldaleth, who normally would be on the official Lotro channel Monday nights. But if you are of the vibes / energy / praying sort, feel free to direct said things her way, because she's been under the weather. We want her to get better. Yeah. So I have a big honking spreadsheet with my characters here on Langeval, my characters on Crickhollow, my characters on Arkansas, all my characters on all of the worlds, to decide the fate of my characters. Because I have more characters in each region than I will have character slots on both servers, total combined, in the 64-bit realms that are coming, we don't know. Severlin. By the way, since you're all here, everybody, including everybody else at freaking Standing Stone Games, has been saying the guy's dev name wrong. I've talked to him about this personally in the DDO Discord. One night he just jumped into voice chat with some folks, and we just shot the shit for like an hour and a half or something. And he has explained this on stream before. His dev name is pronounced Severlin. The emphasis is on the second syllable. But everybody says Severlin, and it's wrong. You know you're guilty of it. Verlin. Yeah, Severlin. So let me type it out in chat. Like that. Severlin. For those who love in-depth Tolkien scholarship by leading professors and actual university people, there is the Grand Dame of Tolkien scholarship. Her name is Dr. Verlin Flieger. It's pronounced the exact same way. And I'll type her name in chat. She's awesome. She is one of the few elders of Tolkien scholarship who has actually met J.R. Tolkien and interacted with him on some level. Because all the rest of them, like Professor Corey, they're young whippersnappers. Actually, Professor Corey is younger than I am. I get to tell Professor Corey Olsen to get off my lawn every time, his birthday rolls around. Because he's younger than I am. Actually, Cordovan is younger than I am. I tell him to get off my lawn, too. Because I'm old. Though, I would happen to note that Cordovan turned 50 last year. So, now he can go around saying, get off my lawn. I'm like, hey, Cordovan, you can apply for the ARP now. And I have to tell you, 12 years ago, former Lotro community manager Sapiens once got me trolled by the AARP. I look much younger than them. I gotta admit that being a community manager for two fractious game communities will age a guy. I'm just saying. I don't look my age. It's honestly, it's probably because I don't smoke, and for the most part, I don't drink. Though I did have some Bailey's Irish Cream, the chocolate variety, last night. It was so good, but just a little bit. Good genes. Definitely not good genes. At least not from my mom's side of the family. My dad's side, probably. Except my dad's adoptive mother was a right bitch. Yeah. And I heard that from my half sister's mother, who's my dad's, was my late dad's first wife. Wife number one was thoroughly hated by dad's adoptive mother. Was not a very nice lady. So yeah. But we're having a good time tonight. But yes, I am over 50 years old. I am over a half century old. I was born in the 70s. Get off my lawn. So, does anybody have any fun questions about the 64-bit servers? What's going to happen with their characters? About transfers, housing, storage, whatever? They may make it to the next Dark Ages. Possibly, Gavin. Hopefully that doesn't happen. People say you don't sound that old. And also because, if you don't smoke, you don't sound like... you can tell if somebody smoked a lot because their voice is very gravelly. You're just waiting for them. You're excited. Astro Gamer, I'm excited too. And I think part of it is because I've been playing on Angmar. I've also been playing extensively on DDO's 64-bit server. And the article, I don't know if anybody has seen it. I'm going to actually link it in chat. I have to go look for it. I'm going to give you all homework. Read this later. It does actually answer most of the questions that came about. So I wrote that. I haven't written an article for MMORPG since November of 2015. So it's been almost a decade since I wrote something for them. But me and my big mouth, I made a wisecrack to the managing editor of the site, who is, by the way, a massive Lotro fan and a massive Lord of the Rings nerd. His social media handles is LOTRO lore. LOTR, like Lord of the Rings, then lore. And I made a wisecrack to him saying, yeah, I should write an article for you guys about this. And he's like, I've been busy doing this thing. Yes, you should. And so we haggled out the details and I wrote an article. And it includes the live stream I did right after Corey's stream. So like 2 hours after the dev stream, I did my stream on the official channel. And I did my initial reactions and was taking notes, and I had scribbled up most of the article even before Corey was done. And it goes over all the details that I remember from the thing. I went back and watched the video again, got some more notes and wrote some more. And added a couple of additional pieces that I did not know at the time of my live stream, which was one of the things that Severlin said during his thing was that their parent company, the company was investing in their games, Standing Stone Games. And Seb had also made a comment, that they were aware that, this is a time when other companies were cutting back. What I didn't know at the time of that stream was that EG7 had announced they were closing one of their studios in Europe, Toadman, and that very same day announced layoffs at Piranha, which was another of their European studios. So, yeah, we're the favorite child of EG7 because Lotro was pulling in a shit ton of money for them. So yeah, I wrote a lot because guess what? I write a lot as much as I talk a lot. And one of the things I do when I review these dev streams is I try to pull in all the nuances. But in this particular case, because I've been playing Lotro since the day it opened and have worked with a lot of the systems that were discussed, I could provide my own personal experience on how things work and whatever. But one thing we still do not know, the big question mark, aside from are we going to cause the transfer servers to melt on day 2, is how will a 17-year-old character with 17 years worth of crap on questing, deed log, all this other crap, plus war steeds careening across the landscape are going to work on these new servers? We don't know. You're off to bed questing, Dad. Well, all my best to the questing mom. Yeah, be good. If you can't be good at it. I was like, where is that? I love that filigree heart. I was like, where is that from? I know that from somewhere. I just noticed it was the Lego Frodo from the Lego Lord of the Rings. Yeah. So I should do some more questing. Instead of just jibber-jabbering like a fool. Alright, Nimuru, what you got?
It is not just the orc encampment nearby that concerns us. Nambadir, the span of princes, has been seen occupied by orcish forces.
Okay, go to the bridge, see what we find. Okay. What do you got?
This valley belongs to the Shagani, and no one else.
Okay. So 2 quests to go to the span of Bridget, or Princes. Okay, we're gonna scout, and destroy weapon racks. Okay, we can do that. This will be a good time. Okay. Now the question is, do I want to continue the epic quest line? Because it's obviously starting to send me into Urashtar. I already got 1 breadcrumb to go in there. Yeah, let's go down and talk to my friends the elves and see what's going on here. Been cleaning up all the other crap that I keep forgetting to actually focus on the main story. For those who are new to our company, you can just toss me a follow if you're so inclined. I normally stream on the DDO channel. DDO stream Sunday nights from 8 to 11 Eastern Standard or Daylight Time, depending what time of year it is. I also stream here Monday nights. And again, generally, I don't stream Lotro Monday nights if Eldaleth is on the official channel, because I didn't want to show respect to my friend. And then I normally will stream on Thursday nights if Corey is not doing Film. If he is doing Film, then I will be not streaming to be able to be around to support that. Bad guys, we're riding around the bad guys. And then Friday nights, streaming in the evening will depend on whether or not Corey is away. Because if he is away, then I will have an opportunity to stream earlier on Lotro stream and then have enough time after my stream there to be able to do 2 streams that day. Come on, what is it? Is it rich? No, we don't care. I think we need to go this way. Ooh, this is pretty. All the dead trees. Oh, there's a bounty? Well, we're gonna do the bounty. Whoops. Wow, okay. Teach Luhum Gina in Zahumak a lesson. Oh, she's a marsh lurker. Interesting. Was not expecting that. Oh my god, there's 5 billion quests. No, let's pick up your quest. Look at, I mean, the hat from the front kind of makes them look like a cat. Especially with their face markings.
How can I help?
The lagged Everett swept through the Favrathor, the Force of Bone. He's worse than us, from some disease. Okay, culling in Shock Dock? Interior Qatar. Okay. I love this particular pavilion. It's so pretty. Look at it. It's sad that you can't actually go inside these. It's like, I want to go look inside. We'll look over here. I have a feeling we're going to have a quest with that person. Yeah, this grove is not as well off as the one we already been to, for sure.
May nature's blessings find you.
Shock Dog, berry seeds interior Qatar. Pardon me. Okay, you don't scavenge siege because you're not a warrior. Okay, I can take care of it.
What do you need?
Nurturing the Verothi, which contain our cherished ancestors. Your water bear has fallen ill, of course. Of course we'll do it. What do you want?
May nature's blessings find you.
Okay. What am I can't worry about? Trothul, the wearying that comes with age to my people. I really do like the in-game take on a wider knowledge in the Legendarium because they can't refer to it directly. It was probably best described in Nature of Middle-earth, but they don't have license to use the knowledge in that book. But they can kind of hint at it, which I love how they did this so cleverly. Fade. We shall remove. Perhaps I will live forever. That was a joke, my friend. Do not look so serious. Hello? I am very old. My particular elf character has been to Valinor. Okay. Who call themselves Men Ordok made camp east of Artulin. They are quite dug in with strong fortifications. Send them a strong message. Defeat a contingent of them at Got Lore. Buy us time to make fortifications. Beat them up! I will do that for you.
How can I help?
When the tree resists the wind, it is the wood that cracks and never the wind. Well, it's true. The Huskarls say good for Rothi to protect themselves. Ooh, that's rude. This past time, yes. I will kick their butts for you. Now, before I do anything else, ooh. By the way, can I point out how cool it is that the Elven milestone is this? This is cool. Not gonna lie. This is the coolest milestone in the game. Hi.
You have come to aid the Kintai of Vartulin with our work.
Okay, you welcome it. Proven impossible to reverse. The best that you can hope is slow its spread. Aww.
How can I help?
The Death Mod. There's much we must do to maintain what we have here. Notice the red leaf trees. They are Sarlashi trees, which with which we make Rothi. Living links to the Kintai who have undergone the Trothul, the Wearing. We give them reverence and respect to men. Have for their entombed dead in sarcophagi. Yep. Very west of here with younger Sarlashi trees, a grove of Rothirin. There are vengeful Krithati spirits. Kintai. Okay, so the Krithati spirits were Kintai who became wrathful or vengeful at the despoiling of the forest. I've kind of suspected the spirits were that. So if you think back to the one that we ran across that killed that dude and caused all those poor doggos to go missing. Who is that? And Silirjas is somebody who is trying to avoid the wearying. She's trying to avoid becoming one of those trees. And so my thought here is that if she keeps trying to prevent it, keeps fighting against it, then she will wind up becoming one of these Krithati. Okay. What's your other quest?
Though you are an outsider, you have the look of someone capable. I am quite desperate. Enough so that I would turn to a stranger for our salvation.
The grove is dying, my people are dying, your wife is struggling, she's wearying, fading before my very eyes, I cannot bear it. These eyes have seen such sights, countless miracles over thousands of years. Never did I think I would see such nightmares as these. The land cursed, the ground parched, horses dry and white as bone. All of my friends, all that I love, destined to fade and be forgotten. I will not fade so easily. I will not let this grove crumble into dust. That is not my path. I have a desperate idea. Will I help your people? Yes, I would help your people, because they are my people. Of a sort.
There is a man who treats with us, Usaka. His ways are strange, but I believe he may have a powerful friend, Kuridwan, the Golden Maiden.
She's someone who could help us heal Vartulin, This grove you see around you, ever since the southern men made their way through forest, the trees started dying, turning hard and white as bone. We call it Lagdavert, the Pale Blight. I believe it is tied to the southern men, but I cannot be sure. Much of what they do is profane in nature, as they burn and cut the trees and brush they meet, rather than exist within it. I believe Usakar knows more about the Lagdavert, as well as the knowledge of how to contact Kurdwan. She has the power to cure the Lagdavert, if she wishes it. I know it in my bones. Before you go after Usakar, would you check on Millingnor? Yep, she's up there. Behind me, half into the Varoth growing over the bridge. It pains me to see her, so I wish to help her to stop her wearying, as she feels it is not her time yet. But yet the Varoth still readily accepts her. I do not wish for her to go yet. Selfishly, I want more time with my beloved. Also, if there are any dead branches on her Varoth, please prune them. It is better for her. I cannot do it myself right now. Cannot bear it. Scamper? Being a silly kitty? Scamper is being a silly kitty. Perhaps Grove Tender Uthral has a poultice to comfort Milingor. You should stop there first. She's on the path above me. Okay. Hold that taunt, Celirtus. Where do I need to talk to? No, let's talk to you, Celirtus. You're right here. Uh-oh, she's untethered.
I see that Celirta still fights our people's fate. I am saddened to see it, but not surprised.
She and I have spoken about it before, and her decision then was clear. I see it has not changed. How can it be so easy to accept in others, yet so difficult to accept when it affects those dear to us? Alas, I see this difficulty most clearly within my own family, and the contradiction is visible to me. But it is not my decision to make for Celirtus, and my words on the subject will sway her neither for nor against. Except the satchel containing the diseased host fangs and hides from the pestilential creatures of the dead forest, and sadly looks them over. If there's aught to learn from these, we will learn it. I dare not hope the blight can be reversed. Perhaps we can fight it, as Celirtus fights the fading.
The protective arts with which we ward our groves have become less effective over time.
But it is the hope of the Kintai that they will forestall the encroaching darkness long enough for us to discover a lasting solution. We have inscribed runes of guarding and renewal upon boundary stones that must be placed along the perimeter of Ortulin. Retrieve some of the boundary stones from the pile across the bridge and set them along the groves of the borders of the grove. They will remain with Celirtus until she returns to herself. Okay. Wasn't I supposed to talk to her? Or trim the branches of her Varoth? Guess not. Okay, well. Go take a look at our questing. Yeah, they're sending us all over the frickin' place, aren't they? Well, let's do the stones at least, since they're right here. Hey, it's Gilly! And Faina! I'm gonna give her a hug too. So, these are wonderful folks. From the... Well, Gilly, I believe, is one of the leaders of the Lonely Mountain Band. Himalaya looks great. Can't wait to get there. Yes! So, yep. Letting them know they're streaming, so they know that they're on the show. I don't like to stream and have like interacting with people without informing them that I'm actually on the air. This just seems to be the polite thing to do. I see porn bots are replying to my tweets as usual. So I'm gonna ban that one too. Okay. Yeah, Imalar looks amazing. It's kind of like Fornos 2.0. Fornos as it should have been, right? And I appreciate the leveling up the depth, scenario and the others on the world building team have done over the years. Now, he hasn't built the game himself because, oh hey, look at this. Because he went away for a while, went to corporate America for a bit, and then he came back. And the same is also true of Orion. We also have Celestrata is back. Celestrata is now, I believe, the brand manager these days. Yeah, on the marketing side of it. Hi, Skittish. Hi, Mama Cat. What are you doing? You just looking at me funny? Okay. They're just looking at me funny. Okay, we're gonna follow the yellow brick road. So I can definitely appreciate the very, very different landscapes we're getting in this expansion. And I appreciate that they're not all stuff that you'd find in Northern Europe. Because Middle-earth wasn't just Northern Europe. Don't care about you. I mean, there was definitely at one point during Tolkien's creation of Middle-earth that he was likening it one-to-one to Europe and the Mediterranean. But then he started to divorce the two to make it so they weren't the same, one-to-one analogy. And I like it better when they're not connected. Because that allows for more creativity. It gives you something to look at and to give you some kind of grounding. Because I think if things are too different and there's nothing you can anchor yourself to, then it does become a problem, in my opinion. Okay, so we need to talk to Uthral.
Ida's mad friend.
There's little more than tea, but sometimes tea is exactly... Yes, sometimes tea is exactly what you need. That's so true. Okay, and I saw Questring over here. Okay, so this is the water bearer who was ill. We're gonna steal his
May
water
nature's
bucket.
blessings find you.
You have a fever and you're unable to perform your duties. You tried both Vermilion and Buttsfield, forbid my work this day. For your kindness and yours. But I thought elves didn't sicken. Like, they didn't catch cold or anything like that. I mean, we know they faded. I'm gonna take both your buckets. Yeah, we're supposed to go to the waterfall and get some water. This one's so pretty, too. Clear water. That is a big honk. That's a bigger bucket than I picked up. Come on. I think we're watering these. Okay. Gotta go get some more water. That is a really big bucket. Really big empty bucket of water. They definitely don't want you lollygagging on this one for sure. Let's do the Sav's quest real quick. Malingerer. Puts me in mind of the word malinger or malingering. A malingerer.
Thorvaldon asked you to check out me. He's sweet to ask.
And thank Uthrall for me for this poultice. I thought I would undergo the Trothul, the wearing, when I was ready to leave this place. I'm not ready, little one. I don't want to go yet. I don't want to go, quoting David Tennant as the 10th Doctor. There's much I would still see and do in this place with Thorvaldon. He tells me to save my energy, that I need to sustain my strength for another season, and that Ceridwen will soon help us. My strength is fleeting, little one. Each day I see a little less of this grove, my home. Each day I feel increasingly unmoored, less myself. I still feel the wind in my limbs, the dry, wheezing breeze. I feel the cold and the heat on my bark. I wish many things. I love Thorvaldon very much. I will hold on for as long as I can. Okay, now we get to prune the dead limbs from her there off. Oh yeah, those are pretty bad. Mama Cat, what are you doing? Okay, I think what I'm going to try and do is work on these other quests here. Okay, that's the way the hell over there. Where's that one? Oh, it's up there. What are you doing out there? Let me do the two quests that are right here, finish them off, because it is my 3-hour mark, which is when I normally kick off for the night, and go do other things.
Thank you for your kindness. It is hard some days to bear all the burdens nature has placed upon us.
We only wish for Milinger's safety and the safety and health of all the Adorid in this grove. It seems a tall order this day, and most days, however. If we are to survive, we need you to convince Usakar to tell you what he knows of Ceridwen. If you can find her, please let her know how desperately we need a cure for this pale blight. Look around you. This was once the Lythor. the Emerald Woods. It has been transformed into a man's span into Favrathor, the Forest of Bone. So many plants and animals are afflicted with disease. We have held it off for as long as we can. However, we now crept into Bartulan itself. We have nowhere left to go. Abadril knows more about Usakar. She often treats with him. She will know how to find him and what boons to bring with you. I believe the Golden Maiden can help us survive. We just need to find her. Okay. Big quest?
I am embarrassed. At least Thovilon is a friend and understands the difficulties I have faced in these past few years.
They have become more frequent as Tothru seeks to claim me, but I will not allow it. I'm eager to meet the others of your company, for speaking with new folk and having new experiences will help me to stave off Trothul. Has it ever been so, and the adventure seems to me no different. Alright, what does Sigileth think?
Yes, we have lent some aid to Thovilon. Now we should continue on to the northeast to rejoin the company.
Our brother Cordan will be very pleased to meet Salutis and learn of her people, as was I. We've said our farewells. We should travel to the north from where we can assess the situation in Kuranzar. The kingdom Havat was absorbed by Orach, and the city may not be friendly to us. We've already been there. Okay. Let's turn in this quest over here.
How can I help?
Can I aid one other? Aww. Yeah, what do you
Lead us mad, outsider.
Lead
I
us
am
on.
fond of Thovilon as I believe his heart is fair. But I do not agree that there is a way to save our people.
We are destined to all join in Milingro's fate, and soon, I believe. Nevertheless, Thorvillon is our leader, and I will follow his wishes. If he wishes you to treat with Usakar, I will tell you how to do so. He is one of the few friends we count among men. He has always been a loyal ally and friend of the Udurid. It's customary for us to send with our envoys to him a gift. Part of nature's bounty. As you can see, nature struggled, and her bounty is little more than leaves and ash this season. There exists not far from here to the east, however, a small grove of orange trees. When last I walked its orchard, there still were a few oranges clinging to life on one of the orange trees, bringing him a gift of those oranges. I wish I could offer more, but as you can see, we barely have anything to give. The southern men have cursed this land. I fear there's nothing we few who remain can do to reverse their savage violence on Fabrathor. What was once Lythor, the Emerald Wood, what is now called the Forest of... One of the things is, like, if you do, like, one or two sets of the quests, they'll hit you with the two names. But if you do all of the quests, it's like every freaking quest tells you about Fabrathor, and then Lythor, the Emerald Wood, and the Forest of Bone. It's like, okay, I got it already. Just a little bit too much hitting me on the head with the hammer. Alright. Hot meets meadow, there should find Dag Ushakara, the home of Usakar. Okay, we gotta go pick up some oranges. Scouting, bounty. Alright. However, we are at 3 hours, so it is time for me to go and get on with the rest of my evening. So, it is a work night for me, so I can't just stream all freaking night like I might want to. Let's see, who do I know who's streaming? Nobody that I know that I can send you to. Who else is streaming the Lotros? I would say if you want to keep watching somebody playing a Lotro, Patina's on. We'll send you on over to Patine, fellow Lotro streamer and all around. Hopefully he's not gonna get done streaming here, because that would be kind of sad. We're gonna send you over to Patine and call it a night. So thanks for watching. I'll be back Thursday evening is the current plan. I will be on Lotro stream Friday afternoon after Cordovan. And because Corey is going to be away. It is what it is. Anyhow, be good. If you can't be good at it, okay? Alright, let's send you on over to Potine. Wait, Potine or Bowen. Let's do that. Alright. Talk to you later. Bye now.